Hey, it's Eric O'Keefe, and I'm here with Joe Belmaris, and Joe is the father of Gabe, who we spoke to in another interview, and he's here to talk a little bit about the process, kind of, his own experiences, because he's now working there with GR, but also what the experiences are as a parent to kind of go through, walking through their kids through the program and what he's seen through everything. So, Joe, I appreciate you taking the time to come on there. So, first thing I want to ask you is I kind of want to ask you, I guess, in your eyes, like what the process was that, got Gabe started and kind of seeing some interest in maybe working over there with GR and Dungeon Strength?
Well, Gabe's always been interested in working out, and we'd gone to the gym together for a few months, and he was really looking for something new, a lot more challenging, and we got a flyer in the mail, and he says, "Hey, Dad, I want to check this out. I want to try it out. It sounds pretty good." So we went and met GR, and Gabe was just like, "This is it." I mean, he got through with the interview with GR, and he's like, "This is the place. I want to be here. The guy sounds really motivated, and he knows what he's doing, and I want to get in on his program." So um, he's the one who found it, and he's been pursuing it.
Now, as a parent, there's a lot of options and people doing these things. Gabe had seen the flyer that had come in. What was it that kind of said, all right, I see that Gabe's interested in this, but I also think this might be a good thing? Was there something there that kind of just said, hey, let me look into this a little bit more?
I can't say I really saw anything.
Mm-hmm.
Gabe's one of these kids, he sees something he likes and he really goes after it. And um, I guess maybe I was just kind of along for the ride in the beginning there. He's the
Mm-hmm.
one that says, hey, let's go check this out. And my wife's like, yeah, we should go check this out. And I was like, okay. But once we got there, I could really, tell from GR, from what he was talking about and how he was going to challenge the kids. He was looking for kids that were really motivated. And that's when I really picked up on he was serious about training these kids. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that's what really hooked Gabe too.
Right, so it wasn't kind of just like a general training type of thing. Like he was really rooting for the kids, trying to push them to get the results and things that they wanted.
Yeah, he wanted kids who were serious about being athletes, who were motivated, who weren't going to quit, who were really going to come after it,
Mm-hmm.
and he was going to challenge them, and he was looking for that kind of motivation to tap into and help them help themselves.
Okay, and when you went in there for that initial meeting, you were there with Gabe. Um, what was kind of like your initial, I guess, your initial reaction, initial gut feeling? Was it comfortable? Were you a little maybe apprehensive at first? Kind of walk me through that process.
Well, we interviewed him when we went in for the interview. We kind of had a casual conversation, meet
Mm-hmm.
and greet kind of, and then he's like, Gr said to us, he goes, I really want to interview Gabe. Gabe's the deciding factor here, and so we kind of just sat back about 5 feet. We could hear the whole conversation that was going on,
Mm-hmm.
but he was really asking some in-depth questions about Gabe's motivation and I could see Gabe was picking up on it that GR was serious about finding serious athletes, and I think that's what really helped that along. And whenever my wife and I had a question related to what they were talking about, we could easily chime in, and GR was really happy to answer our questions and make
Mm-hmm.
sure our concerns were addressed as far as parents go.
As a parent, because obviously there's going to be some parents who see this too. If off the top of your head, if you remember maybe what some of the questions were that maybe you had that you covered or something, so that would kind of GR, made you guys feel comfortable.
Um, Two of the things that really stick out in my mind that I remembered about that interview was he wanted to find motivated kids and
Right.
he wanted to tap into that, but I also was concerned about could he be letting the kids go too far or would
Mm-hmm.
he push them too far? And when he talked about his program and how he measures the kids and how he brings them along, I really got a comfortable feeling that he really was looking out for their welfare and being able to so they wouldn't hurt themselves.
Process. You and your wife, I'm sure, talked it over a little bit. You got Gabe signed up. I guess the first week or so, or things like that. What kind of feedback was Gabe giving you guys as he was going in and out with the training with him?
Well, he was coming out of the training pretty tired. It was really a new challenge for him, but
Yeah.
he was also eating it up. He's like, "Dad, this is great stuff. I'm really, you know." He was kind of sore. He was kind of tired, but then you could
Hmm.
also see that he knew he was going to be making some good progress. And after about a month or so, I could see that too. And
Interesting.
a year later now, he looks great and he feels great, and he's really got what he's wanted out of that program.
So you've seen the differences. So you know that, he's probably, with all the lifts and things that he's doing, I'm sure a lot of improvements, I guess, on speed and strength and weight gains. You've seen all of that.
Oh yeah, yeah. A 17-year-old kid. I mean, he's not chubby or anything to begin with because he was an athlete in high school, but
Right.
I mean, he is really lean now. I doubt you. He's got to be somewhere in the single digits of body fat. Um, his clothes just look great on him. He's got all kinds of strength. The guy doesn't tire. We just did Warrior Dash here
Nice.
last weekend, and he wasn't slowing down at all. He was kind of dragging me along, so I know he's got a lot more strength inside of him there.
Now, have you seen it as a parent? You've watched the process now for over a year. Have you seen any other changes, maybe energy or the way that they handle certain situations or the mood? Have you seen any other differences?
Um, I can't really say that anything sticks out. I can tell you that he's taken this program seriously, and he was a senior in high school this year, and he's a lot more disciplined now about what he does. Maybe that's a reflection of the program he's in, the workout he does. He was serious more with his studies. He also didn't want to get in any trouble. I think he makes better decisions now. Does that all come out of the program? I wish I could say I knew for sure, but
Right.
it's a full package right now. He's got a really good discipline with working out. He eats really well. I mean, the guy he has a cheater meal, what they call a cheater meal every now and then.
Yeah.
But he really does stick to the nutrition plan. He works out regularly, and he's doing really good.
And the nutrition is for a teenager to stick to that is really, really, really difficult. So that's an interesting note.
Oh yeah, especially if you saw his diet like 2-3 years ago.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. All right, so you've been there. He's been there for over a year. Results, obviously, you've seen them. Other people have seen them. All different areas. Someone who's going to be watching, there's going to be parents, like I said, who are going to see this. And they may be thinking, maybe this is a program for my kid, but I'm kind of on the fence. I'm not 100% sure if this is the right place. What would you want to say to somebody or a parent maybe that's kind of thinking along those lines?
I would say, the concerns are understandable. It's your kid, and parents are naturally a little protective about it. But GR really works with these kids. He's got a really good evaluation program. He'll find out where they're at physically and mentally, and he'll help develop them. You're really giving them to a good guy who knows a lot about training athletes, especially young athletes. I'm in his program now. I just started here a week ago, and I'm loving it. He's really giving you positive feedback, and he's evaluating you, and he's pushing you along, and I think that those are all really good qualities. And I'd have him over for dinner anytime.
Okay. And you mentioned you started a week ago. We were talking a little before, so I know you've been in the program now for this week. What was it that got you to finally, I guess, come aboard, after a year or so to kind of join and see how things are going to
go? Seeing the results in Gabe and how he's talked about the program, talking with some of the other parents there that were there too. They've talked about how well their kids are doing in school athletics, and just seeing the transformation in Gabe too. It's always where the rubber meets the road, right? It's not just hearing it; it's seeing the results, and seeing more kids come to his program, and seeing that he added adults. I thought, there's something good going on here. Talking with the guy too over the last year, I said he knows what he's doing, and I want to get in on this. And so far, I like the program.
That's great. Obviously, a weekend, a little bit too early to see, certain results, but you're enjoying it so far, which is good to hear. And there's other adults in there, right? There's other parents who are also part of this group too.
There are other adults in there. Some of them, I think, do have kids. Whether those kids are also in the program or not, I couldn't tell you. Okay. But yeah, there's more and more adults coming.
Interesting. All right. So the last thing I want to do, I want to shift gears a little bit. You mentioned a few things before about GR. You've been there a while now, so you kind of gotten to know him. Like you said, you'd invite him over, so you've become maybe a friend of his in a way. You've gotten to know who he is as a person, maybe not just as a trainer. So are there any words or phrases that you can think of to describe who GR is as a person, maybe not so much as a trainer or coach?
I have a lot of respect for the guy. He's very knowledgeable, very smart guy, very personable. He will listen to you. When I talked to him about what I wanted from a program, he really wanted to know what my goals were. And I know he's looking at his program and giving me an honest evaluation if he can help me to where my goals. So honesty. I have a lot of respect for him. Very sociable, funny guy, easy to interact with. Just the kind of guy you want to have live next door.
And you feel comfortable with him, because that's another big thing with the kids and people coming in, like having that feeling of comfort. So you have that?
Oh, absolutely. I've kind of gotten to know a few of the kids, not really well, but I can converse with them. And now I'm getting to know some of the adults, and I have never heard anyone say a bad word about GR. I mean, it's a positive attitude, it's a great atmosphere, and he keeps everybody really motivated.
Okay. So the last question that I have for you is, obviously you just started. Okay, so you're a week in, you're coming in after seeing what Gabe has been through. GR's done a lot to change Gabe, physically, mentally, all these different things. And I'm guessing you're, kind of a proud dad seeing these changes. If you were to never see GR again, okay, it's the last time, you wouldn't call, text, whatever, this is the last time you're ever going to see him, what would you want to say to him?
I would want to give him the warmest, honest thanks I could for what he's done for my son and my family, and I'd wish him well in whatever he does, and good luck in getting married.
Awesome. Well, Joe, I appreciate you taking the time to come on, talk about your son Gabe, his experience, your experience, and working with GR in Dungeon Strength, and I wish you the best of luck with everything you have going forward.
Thanks a lot.
All right, take care.
Have a good evening.